Hello, it's the beginning of July here in the UK. We're in one of our summer months. And look what I've just turned up. Look what I've just found. These seed potatoes. They've missed the boat. They should have been in spring of the year, so that at least a full season behind where they should be. They should be growing by now, but they look as though they want to grow. They've got chits, they've got shoots, we've got roots. But have we got enough time left in the year to grow these? After all, in a month or two's time we move into autumn, and then we move into winter. And when we move into autumn, it starts getting a bit cooler, start losing the light. What do you think? Think we have time to plant these? Well, if we plant these, we may get them ready for Christmas. Something I very much doubt. And I have no confidence in actually trying to do that. But we're under lockdown. There's nothing else to be done other than gardening. So I'm going to plant these guys. We'll plant one on camera now. Yogurt pot, half full of soil. Okay, I'm going to sit that in there like that, and we're going to cover it with soil. Now the ultimate aim is to get these to grow into small potato plants, and then to put them on into buckets, and then to grow them on. One done, two to go. One question you might have is, well, why am I bothering with yogurt pots? Why not go straight into the buckets? Well, I've got that many buckets around the garden at the moment. To be honest, there isn't room for another bucket. So what I'm hoping is that in perhaps a month's time, however long it takes, if these produce small potato plants, we'll put them up into the bucket and then we'll let them run, see if we can get them through to Christmas. 2 weeks ago, these potato plants were only potatoes. What's happened in 2 weeks? Well, 2 weeks ago, I planted those potatoes in these yogurt pots. And look at the top growth we've got now. And I dare say when we take these out, there'll be roots. So we'll have roots and we'll have shoots. So they're not potatoes anymore, they're potato plants. Yeah, they're now potato plants. And what I'm going to do in this video, I'm going to move these potato plants up into 10-inch water buckets. And that's what we're going to grow them on in. And what I've got to help me do that is this cut off pop bottle. This hopefully will prevent any damage to this top growth when we put these up into the 10-inch water buckets. Okay, which one we're going to do? We'll choose this one because it's the biggest and it's likely to be the one that's the most awkward. I'll just move these forward. And I'll bring this water bucket into shot. Okay, 10-inch. It's got 2 inches of soil already in the bottom. And that's where that potato plant's going, in the bottom of this bucket. Okay. Let me just turn this out and see if it has got roots. And oh yeah, hope you can see that. There's lots of roots in that soil now. So we've got roots, we've got shoots. It's now a potato plant. We're going to plant it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply sit this on that 2 inches of soil in the bottom of that bucket. I'm going to infill around it just to hold it steady in the bottom there so it can't fall over. But what I want to do is I want to try and get this potato planted without doing any damage to the growth we've already got, because there isn't a lot of growing year left and we don't want to waste what we've already got, do we? Okay, can you say that? Yeah, I'm sure you can. Now then, you need to be careful as you put this over this foliage that you don't damage the foliage. You could do that if you're not careful, so just be careful as you pop it over. And I like to turn it round as though I'm screwing it on. Clearly I'm not, but it stops the leaves sticking to the inside of the pop bottle. How's that? Absolutely no damage. Now we can fill this bucket as far as we like with soil. Okay, how's that? Now we're going to take this bottle out now, and I find the best way to get this out without damaging the foliage is to just do this to enlarge the hole and then bring it out in a sort of a turning, screwing motion if you like, and it doesn't bring the potato plant with it. How's that? How's that? Now what we're going to do is simply shake this soil in like this. How's that? We'll add some more soil. And what I'll need to do now is, these are quite spindly, quite delicate. I will need to try and stand them somewhere where the wind can't get them, because that's probably the biggest danger to them just at the moment, that the wind wants to snap them off. There we go. One Christmas potato planted up into a 10-inch water bucket. Let's see how that goes. All three potato plants are looking really healthy, but there is a long way to go until it's Christmas. There's a lot of dark nights, there's a lot of cold weather, a lot of rain, a lot of wind. These are my Christmas potatoes. They wouldn't have stood a chance in that wind, not a chance. They're quite tall, they're quite leggy, and they don't look that strong. We haven't got a flower on one here. Now we're still 4 months away from Christmas and we have a flower. I still don't have a great deal of confidence that we'll grow these through till Christmas, but we've got them in here today because of the wind, and at the first chance I get I'll take them back outside. This weekend we have the last Sunday in October. What's the significance in that, I hear you ask? Check this out, then come back to me. In the United Kingdom, the clocks go forward 1 hour at 1 AM on the last Sunday in March, and back 1 hour at 2 AM on the last Sunday in October. The period when the clocks are 1 hour ahead is called British summertime. There's more daylight in the evenings and less in the mornings. This is sometimes called daylight saving time. When the clocks go back, the UK is on Greenwich Mean Time. The mornings are now lighter and the evenings get darker. Okay, so here in the UK we have this quaint tradition of putting clocks forward and putting clocks back and putting clocks forward and putting clocks back, and it just so happens this weekend it's the autumn of the year, it's fall, the clocks fall backwards. So the clocks are adjusted backwards, which means we lose some daylight. It gets daylight sooner but darker sooner. Do you follow that? Well, that's it. The mornings get lighter, the evenings get darker. And because of that, and the fact that the weather's getting colder, things don't really want to grow. These potatoes certainly don't want to grow. And I think I've said in previous videos when people have asked me about when should you harvest potatoes, well, personally I like to see them at the end of the road. If they're starting to die back, then there's no point in leaving them in the buckets because they won't get any bigger. But having said that, that's just what we're going to do here at Homegrown Veg with these Christmas potatoes. Hey, what are your potatoes looking like? Are you growing Christmas potatoes? I've absolutely no doubt that had I not had these potatoes in my greenhouse, they would all be completely flattened by now with the strong winds that have been ripping across this garden. But look, it's starting to go yellow. This one's actually looking as though it wants to fall over. And I don't think I've seen any growth in these potatoes for at least a month, maybe more. So I don't think they're growing. I think they're actually dying. And yeah, we could harvest them now. But we're not going to do that, not with these Christmas potatoes. We're just going to let the tops die off over the next 9 weeks or so, and then we'll harvest them near Christmas. What do you think? Is that what you're doing? Is that what you're doing with your Christmas potatoes? Because I'm fairly confident there'll be none of this greenery around on the 25th of December. There just won't. In fact, I would gamble that there won't be any of this greenery around on the 25th of November, never mind the 25th of December. But hey, we're going to let them go. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to take a couple of these off this bench now and put another one up. Will you see this potato? This looks as though we might be in with a shout. Wow, contrast the difference. This looks as though it's still growing. Foliage is lovely and green. No marks on it. And then let me show you this. See that? That was a tomato plant. Yeah, long gone. Long gone, that tomato plant. This bucket was in my greenhouse growing that tomato plant. And then up popped this potato, growing in the same bucket. Now, if nothing else, that proves that I do recycle my soil, and the soil that went in this bucket probably had a small molly in there, a small potato that I'd missed. And it's a volunteer, and look at it. I mean, it looks a better potato than the ones that I've planted. So yeah, I'm looking forward to harvesting this particular potato. But just like the Christmas potatoes, I'm not expecting a lot because I suspect this grew from a very small potato. But because I didn't plant it, I don't know that. I haven't seen the seed potato in this bucket, but when we empty it out at Christmas time, we'll see what the potato looks like. So that's something to look forward to. Right, one last thing. Let me just part these two and put a couple of buckets up that will guarantee us potatoes at Christmas. These are 2 buckets of potatoes that were ready some months ago. I just didn't harvest them. I've just left the potatoes in the buckets, and what you can see are the stems from the potatoes. Now this particular potato is a potato called Cultra. There's only 1 potato growing in there, and I'm fairly confident there'll be potatoes in this bucket that we can deliver at Christmas. Now whether we can claim them as Christmas potatoes, hey, I'm not bothered. Honest, I'm not. As long as we get a few potatoes. But yeah, so we're going to hold this one back till Christmas. And we're going to hold this one back now. This is a mystery potato. It's only a mystery because I haven't put a ticket in it. So I don't know what it is. But these came from 1 potato in there. I'm fairly sure I've shown you this before. But can you see how that bucket is actually elliptical? It isn't round. It isn't round. And it isn't round because there are potatoes in there trying to burst their way out. And I know that for a fact because I can feel the sides of the bucket, and I can feel the potatoes bulging the sides of the bucket. So I'm fairly confident we'll get some potatoes out of this. This guy's a bit of a mystery, the one that's growing from that molly, the small potato that found its way into the soil that grew the tomato. I'm not too sure about that guy. And to be honest, well, trying to grow potatoes when the weather's getting colder, outdoors it's wetter, these have been in the greenhouse, and the days are getting shorter, hey, it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. So why are we doing it? Well, we're under lockdown, aren't we? What else can we do? I've tidied the garden's tidy. There isn't a great deal more that can be done. I got some bare root strawberry plants, I've got those going, so that's something to look forward to as well next year. But hey, to see the results of this, we all need to get to Christmas, don't we? We all need to get to Christmas, and the way to do that, stay in your garden. Stay in your garden. There's no COVID in there. I know you have to go out for essentials, and certainly in the US you're going out to vote, so that's something you need to do. But hey, if you spend more time in your garden, there's less likelihood of you picking that terrible disease up. And we'll all get through to Christmas together, won't we? Yeah, of course we will. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed this video. Yeah, you will see the result of this, but you're going to have to wait about 9 weeks. So hang around, don't be going anywhere. This is Homegrown Veg, signing out.